the speed of this administration is going right now. I mean, we just had another impromptu press conference as he was going out to make that big announcement about the investment in AI that you mentioned, but it was already a busy day. You mentioned that meeting, that private meeting that he had with Republican leadership, from Senate Majority Leader John Thune to House Speaker Mike Johnson, here at the White House, meeting with Trump for quite a while, pushing back that initial announcement. And you're right, this is where he has to get with the leadership on Capitol Hill, in the House, in the Senate. They have the power. Republicans control both. But now this is where the rubber meets the road, where everything he talked about on the campaign trail gets done, or he tries to get done. What he did over the last 24 hours or more is sign these executive orders and these executive actions. These are things he could do on his own without them. The rest, he's going to need some help. And he wants to make sure that his party is in lockstep. Those members on Capitol Hill are in lockstep with him. They didn't even come out here to speak with us outside of the West Wing afterwards, because they were letting the president speak for himself on this, and then have this press conference and announcement tonight. So a lot to go through there in terms of news, and you went off the top about it, but that is a big investment that they're talking about, the $500 billion to invest in this, what they're calling Stargate, over the next 4 years. And they mentioned some of the applications that they're building with that, Blake. Electronic health records, not just maintaining, but doctors better understanding the conditions of their patients, and the healthcare plans for the future. They essentially said this is the promise of AI and the promise of the future. Blake.
Kelly Meyer, live on the North Lawn. Kelly, thank you. Joining me now, Mick Mulvaney, former chief of staff in the first White House. NewsNation contributor, smile on your face, because I know what you're thinking, Mick, same as I. Deja vu, here we are again. You're just watching it unfold. Here's what I noticed, Mick, and hello, nice to see you as always. There was that quote-unquote shock and awe yesterday, right? All these executive orders out the gate. And I'm going, wait a minute, I didn't see anything on tariffs. He said he was going to do tariffs on day one, and now he's talking about February 1st. So all of this, and there were a lot of questions on this, Mick, all of this that was highly orchestrated, highly calculated, highly delivered out of the gate, why did he punt on that?
Because he had 757 other things to do, I suppose. Look, I can't wait for the next 4 years.
But I mean, he then promised on those other 756, did he not?
He did. Look, my guess is that what you're seeing is the beginning of the negotiation. You know, I see Panama as part of a negotiation with China. I see TikTok as part of a negotiation with China, and I see the threat of tariffs as part of a negotiation with China. Look, you don't have to worry. If you really, really want tariffs, they're coming. That's not the issue, just because he didn't get to them last night. But they're absolutely, when the man tells you he loves the word, it's one of the most beautiful words in his vocabulary. He's serious about that. He's the best I've ever seen at creating leverage, and tariffs create leverage. So you're going to see it.
Okay.
But I can't believe, out of all the things we could talk about, you're talking about the stuff that he didn't actually do, because he's done so much in the last 36 hours.
We covered all that yesterday, as you know, Mick. You were on air with me throughout the day. Let me ask you about something that I heard there from Trump, which is going to be an issue that your party is going to have to take up. And I should start saying President Trump, right? Because that's where we are right now. Which is TikTok, and it divides the party. It is one of those things, as we've discussed, that does not neatly fall along party lines. One of the rare things that Democrats and Republicans in this town came together on, which was to essentially ban it or force a sale of it. And the president there said he was open to the idea of Elon Musk potentially buying it. And if that's the case, how do you think that will fit here in Washington, especially within your party?
Yeah, I'm not as concerned about it as maybe some other people might be, because that's about 4 moves down the chessboard. And what didn't get asked today, and of course it's an impromptu presser, so you don't blame the press for not having all their questions ready. But look, in order for anybody to buy it, and I've heard rumors about it makes sense to have a discussion about whether or not Elon Musk, who owns X, would buy TikTok. He's a natural place to sort of look to if you're going to look to buy a big tech platform, right? I don't understand this part about the United States owning half of it unless they're going to make it a utility, but that's another conversation. Look, there's a threshold consideration. China doesn't want to sell it. ByteDance doesn't want to sell it. You can't, unless you're going to shut it down. They're not, and right now they don't seem to want to sell it. So I think they have to cross that bridge before they start worrying about who's going to buy it.
Okay. Mick Mulvaney, we're up on time. I got to leave it there. Thanks for being here with us. Talk to you soon. Appreciate it. Mick Mulvaney, NewsNation contributor, former Trump White House Chief of Staff. See you. Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.